Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you two new things that I crafted recently. So if you didn't already know, I like to do paper crafts. I don't do it too often, but I try to do it every now and then. I do have a small business, and I just sell at craft fairs around where I live, but obviously we're going through a pandemic, so I don't know that I'm going to be selling at a craft fair anytime soon. And even before the pandemic hit, I had been sort of like in a slump when it comes to paper crafting. Yeah, basically, you know, I'm a mom, I work full time. I don't really have a lot of time to do crafts, even though it is my favorite hobby, pretty much. So I found a little time recently and I decided, you know what, I am going to use up some of the paper that I have and just make some Smashbooks. So that's what I have here for you to show you guys today. So I tried to make two at a time at least. Whenever I make a Smashbook, a tip that my sister-in-law taught me, although she usually makes like 5 at a time or 8 at a time, I don't know. But I'm a slow crafter, so it took me a few days to make these. But I finally got them done, and I haven't made a Smashbook maybe in 2 years. I had started off sort of making Smashbooks a few years ago, and then my sister-in-law taught me how to hand stitch journals, and I really like doing that, so I did that a lot over the past couple of years, selling at craft fairs. But so I hadn't made a Smashbook in a while. It's a little more time consuming, I find, than a hand stitch journal. But yeah, I decided to give it a go, and I chose a tropical theme. I had this really nice tropical paper. Let me see if I could reach for it. Yes, so I used this hot Tropic paper pad by Craft Smart. I want to say I got it from Michael's. It's possible my sister-in-law sent it to me, but I don't recall really for sure that's where I got it. Sorry if the camera keeps shaking. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, that's my daughter. So yeah, I used that paper pad, and then I also pulled some sheets from, I'm reaching for it, this fruit tart paper pad by the Paper Studio. I think I got this like at Joann maybe, or I can't even really recall, but it's not cardstock. The paper is or just like regular weight paper, like, you know, copy paper sort of thickness. But I hadn't used it yet. Not really. I think I used a couple sheets way back when. But they're all sort of like tropical fruits. So I thought that would be good to sort of combine them. And the main purpose for me for these thinner sheets is to make double-sided pages, because most of the paper pads that I own are single-sided. And when I'm making these books, I find sometimes that I don't really like having too many white pages, so the backs of things being, you know, white. So I will either make a pocket of some sort behind or on a white page, or make a double-sided sheet by gluing two papers together. And so I prefer, when I do that, to use a thinner sheet as the back. Anyway, let's get into these books because it's already 5 minutes into the video. So these are sort of like faux Smashbooks. And the size, the outside size is 9.5 by 6.5. That's the cover size. And then the inside pages are 9 by 6. So they're not too different inside, but they are different. But because they use the same paper collections, they're gonna look pretty similar, just, you know, space, or, you know, paper placement is different, and some elements inside are different. So I do have a We Are Memory Keepers cinch, Heidi Swap cinch. So that's what I use to punch the holes. And then I have some wire, some O-rings, I forget what you call them. So this is a chipboard cover, front and back. And then I covered, you know, the chipboard with this really pretty paper. Here I put a clear pocket that's from the Target Dollar Spot, or whatever you call it now. And then, so here's the 6 by 9, the 9 by 6 paper. I did corner punch all of the corners. The front page here, I have this silk flower that I got, I think, from a grab bag. So let me just do a flip through. So for example, this was one of the Fruit Tart thinner sheets of paper that I just glued behind this sheet to make it double-sided. I don't normally do this, but I tried in these two books to sort of make cohesive side-by-side pages so that they were sort of a spread. It may not translate that way throughout the entire book, but as much as possible, I tried to do that, either by like a color scheme or just what I thought matched well next to each other, which again, I don't normally do, but I just decided to do that with this, and I kind of like how it turned out. So for instance, this was a sheet from the Fruit Tart paper pad, and it had watermelon seeds. And then this was from the Hot Tropic paper pad, and it had watermelon. So I thought, of course, they went well next to each other. So here's an example of what I do when there's a white space. I put a belly band here, and then I stuck in a journaling card, or it's not really a journaling card, but just like a Project Life kind of card. I hand cut this tag, put a sticker, some washi. I made a pocket here, stuck in some ephemera pieces, a card that they could, tag that they could journal on. That's just a shipping tag. And then here, so this, I think, is the inside of pineapples, and then these were pineapples, so you kind of get my drift. This pocket, and then stuck in a journaling card there. Now these I hand stamped. It doesn't look perfect, but I kind of like the imperfection of it. And then just in a few sheets where I wasn't putting a pocket, I just sort of inked the edges a little bit with this shade of ink. I can't recall the name of the shade. So here I used a whole of the 12 by 12 sheet, except, 3 inches were cut off to make it 9 by 6 on each side. And I like that. Gives it like a spread kind of look. And so the idea is you can use this as a scrapbook, like a Smashbook. So you glue in or tape in some photos, or just like, little keepsakes, movie tickets, ticket stubs for train rides, or I don't know, when you go on trips, maybe your boarding passes, and then just to document some memories. Yeah. So another pocket here. some of these journaling cards are from other paper collections that sort of match the theme of like tropical or like summertime sort of vibe. Because the hot Tropic paper pad did not have too many journaling card type of things in it. They didn't have a lot of cut aparts. So these were the cut aparts really from that paper pad. These, what is this size? 6x6, maybe? Here I made a little tuck spot and tucked in a journaling card. So I did use some just solid cardstock that sort of gave a tropical vibe with the colors. This is like a vellum envelope that I really like and I've had for a while. I just thought, okay, I should use it. I stamped there. I added a sheet of black paper just because I like the idea of giving somebody a spot where they can test out any of their Milky pens, their you know, glitter gel pens, or just pens that can write on black paper. Here is an American Crafts card, just like a simple greeting card that I punched and included in there. A little corner pocket there. Another double spread. Here's a vertical pocket. Oops. There, I like this. Strawberries that are shaped like hearts. Here, you know, so here I was trying to just match sort of colors. This I stamped. I forget the company that makes the stamp, but I know it's called Havana Nights, the collection. So I like that. Some tropical washi. A pocket. I really like this. I like all the citrus fruit. So this was from the Fruit Tart paper pad. And here, sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth. I hand stamped this page. So I really like this idea. I did this a couple of years ago. And I feel like it was not life-changing, but it sort of was like an epiphany when I saw a video with someone doing this. So one way to make a single-sided sheet of paper double-sided is stamp the other side. So I took this flower stamp from the Havana Nights stamp collection that I have, and I just stamped this page and sort of filled it up and tried to make it look like the paper came that way. So it's not perfect, but I feel like I showed it to my husband and he was surprised that it was a stamp. This was, I have like a little citrus punch or something, paper punch. So I just punched that out. That's another stamp. I love it. Again, this is, I think, from the Havana Nights stamp pad that I have. And then this was just a single sheet of paper that I bought at a craft store a while ago, and so I just threw it in there. And then at the very back I have this, just a big envelope, so I will put extras in here. So more journaling cards, a couple of ephemera pieces, and maybe some washi that I'll put in the back just as like extra goodies. And then at the back here I made another pocket and I stuck in a journaling card. So that is one book. And then I'll quickly go through the other book. Again, same papers pretty much for the most part inside. So it's gonna look pretty similar, but you know, everything's sort of slightly different. So here I decided to put a big pocket rather than using the clear pocket in the front. I put a bigger pocket in the front here. I did the same thing with the flower. So here I tried to, you know, mix it up a little bit. I didn't want it to look too exactly like the first one I made. So I tried not to always match the same two papers side by side as I was doing with the other book. Just in case, I feel like it's possible sometimes that I have one customer buying two of the books. And so if someone were to buy both of these books, I didn't want it to feel like they got two of the same book with just a different cover. Although, you know, I don't know how successful I was at that. But anyway, for the most part, I don't think anyone's buying two books for themselves. If they're going to look like the same sort of book, they would probably be buying it as gifts maybe. And hopefully it would go to two different people, or maybe to two siblings, and they wouldn't mind so much that the books look too similar. But no two books are ever alike when I make them. So again, with the stamps, I like these little skinny pockets. Yeah. So I have been trying to, you know, get back into crafting. It's, you know, I don't know. I feel like life is so like different nowadays. Sometimes it's like, oh, I have all this time, I should just craft. But most times it's, oh, I have all this time, but I just want to, like, any free time I might have, I just want to like veg out and, you know, watch Netflix or something. Yeah, so here I did this little flippy thing. So rather than cutting the 8.5 by 11 sheet paper down to a 9 by 6, I just kept the whole size of it and folded it. And then just so it's not so plain, I just glued a strip here of this sheet of paper, which this design was a full layout in the other book, but this is the only spot where this design shows up, I think, in this book. So just another way for me to sort of mix it up a little bit. And then in the back, some journaling cards in a pocket there. So this was the vellum envelope that I chose for this book. And then here, I just used a white, which white pen? Oh no, not that one. That's not even a white pen. It's a Uniball white pen, Signo, Uniball Signo. And I just decided, I debated whether I should do anything because, you know, it's my own drawing. I don't know that anybody would want somebody else's sort of doodle in their book that they're purchasing. But I wanted to sort of let them know, in case they don't, that, hey, you could try out some Milky pens if you have any on the black sheet of paper. So that's the reason I did that. And I hope they don't mind. And if they do mind, they can always cover it up with something else, a sticker or something. I love these oranges. And then that's the back. So again, an envelope that I'll fill up with other things later. And then here is where I put the clear pocket in this book, and I just stuck in this card. So, and then the back of this book, I chose just a plain green cardstock, and then this one, a plain orange cardstock. Yeah. So that is my flip through of these two books that I crafted. I want to say I finished it last week, or last weekend. And yeah, I just wanted to share it with you all before I don't know, hopefully sell them, but I don't know when. I will probably post it on my little local Facebook page, and you know, if anyone is interested in them, I'm sure I'll get a bite. So thanks so much for watching. Until the next video, guys. Bye. Stay safe.